Unless you're absolutely devoted to what you're doing, you will never do anything significant. You will do mediocre stuff, you will survive, make a living. If you cultivate your body, your intellect, your emotion and your energy in a certain way, meditation will happen as a quality, not as an act. So the moment they get emotional, the fundamental efficiency and competence of your body and your mind drops. In that state, how are you going to win? You're only going to dream of winning. See, this is the whole thing. We think it's been taught in the world that if you want to be successful, you got to do this. Not necessary. Because essentially you don't have to fight with anybody, you just have to kick the ball in the goal. Well, I'm not trying to make it simplistic. Of course there are other people playing, but we are supposed to play with them. We are supposed to outplay them, not fight them. Fight them means we have to go against them. To play means to miss them. Essentially, you have to miss those guys and get to the goal, not fight with them. If you have the intent of fighting with them, obviously, you will go head-on. These kind of things have been built up that we are fighting somebody. You don't have to fight anybody. People are always thinking fighting spirit, killing instinct, all this not needed. If we train people from an early age that they have to be just smooth as silk, nobody should be even able to come near you. The greatest players were like that, they were just running away with the ball, all others running all over, not knowing where they're going. So essentially you don't have to fight anybody, you just have to get the ball where you have to. For this you don't need fighting spirit, killer instinct, any of these things. All you need is work on the skill, work on the skill, work on the skill, which doesn't come because you wish. Skill won't come because you desire. Victory will not come because you desire. Every fool wants to win, but only those who have the competence will win in the end. So the moment they get emotional, the fundamental efficiency and competence of your body and your mind drops. In that state, how are you going to win? You're only going to dream of winning. You're not going to win any game, you're just going to dream about it. So, when there is substantial medical evidence today to show that only when you're in a pleasant state of experience, your body and your mind functions at its best. It doesn't matter what is the nature of sport or academics or music or whatever we are doing. What is the nature of activity, it doesn't matter. Whatever is the nature of activity, essentially success in the physical world is just how well you harness your body and your mind. That's all it is. And these two things you can do best only when you're in a pleasant state of experience. So, question is just this, are you competent to live in this world or not? Essentially it comes down to that, isn't it? So, how do I do this? It's very simple. Suppose we give all of you, let's say, soup-making ingredients. If I give all of you the same soup-making ingredients, do you believe that all of you will come up with the same kind of soup? Similarly, that's all that's happened with us. All of us are fundamentally same ingredients. See in how many ways we've become. So it's a soup-making skill. You're just a chemical soup. I'm saying this is a chemical soup because whatever is the human experience of peacefulness, of joyfulness, of blissfulness, of ecstasy, of agony, of misery, of stress, anxiety, whatever you name it, all human experience has a chemical basis to it. So this is a chemical soup. Question is only, are you a great soup or a lousy soup? You must understand this, the nature of human mind is such, what you don't want is what will happen in your mind. So if you say, I don't want something, only that will happen. Because in the very nature of our mind, it is made like this, there is only addition and multiplication. There is no subtraction and division in this mind. In terms of thoughts, I'm saying. If you say, I'm having too many thoughts, let me divide it or let me subtract it, there's no such thing. If you touch it, it will plus plus plus, it will go. If you try hard, it will become multiplication, because this is a vehicle where all the three pedals are throttle. Whatever you touch, boom. So, in this mind, you do not employ such methods. There are some things psychiatrists, psychologists and others are giving cathartic ways that you talk yourself out, but there is no abuse hidden in you. There is no anger hidden in you right now, is there? There isn't right now. Once in a way you create it. Why do you create it? Why would you create something that you don't want? You create it because one thing is somewhere you believe it's a kind of power. Most people believe anger is power, but when it overtakes them, they suffer. When they give a little dose to somebody and they get scared, they enjoy it. You know, I did boom and that guy got scared. It's nice. So once you think it's power, when it becomes overpowering over yourself, then it's a disaster. So people can propel themselves into action with negative emotions like anger, resentment, hatred. Hatred is a fire which can make people do many things. A whole lot of people have done intense conquering and invasions out of hatred. Powering yourself with negative emotions like this is one thing we must understand. Whatever you want to do, whatever it is, whether it is music, art, sport, business, spirituality, it doesn't matter what. Unless you're absolutely devoted to what you're doing, you will never do anything significant. You will do mediocre stuff, you will survive, make a living. But if you want to do something significant, you must be absolutely devoted to whatever you're doing. Only then it will bring you to a place where you're significant in what you're doing. Otherwise, nothing.
One of your limitations, one of your problems, one of your nonsense that people suffer around you, one of those things should go. You can't leave all of it wholesale. At least one, shall we? Because without transformation, empty spirituality, talking spirituality, acting spiritual is no good. Some transformation must happen, isn't it? When you live, people should enjoy your presence. When you die, they should miss you. If the reverse happens, that means we've lived the wrong way.
This is what you need to do with your mind and your body. There's a little distance, suddenly everything is crystal clear. Simple things. For people who have lived here for 50, 60 years and they still don't know how to handle their thought and emotion. When are they going to learn? After 1,000 years? If you do not know how to handle your thought, how the hell did you live till now? I don't know. By accident? When you live by accident, anxiety is normal. But if you know how to drive, the faster it goes, the better it is. The same with your mind and body. Because you are enmeshed in it, haven't figured a damn thing about it, it looks very complicated, little distance. This is dhyan, this is meditation in a way. So if you create that little distance, suddenly everything is clear. What looked so complicated is just a simple thing. If you cultivate your body, your intellect, your emotion and your energy in a certain way, meditation will happen as a quality, not as an act. People are doing 10 minutes meditation, they will freak themselves after some time, for sure. A whole lot of people. This survey was done, I think in 94 or 96, I'm not very sure about the date, but sometime in the 90s, early 90s, the NIMHANS Institute did a survey and they found 8% of the inpatients, not outpatients, inpatients who come and stay in NIMHANS for a period of treatment, 8% of them came because of improper yoga and meditation. Because if you forcefully try to do something with your mind, it will freak. It's very important when you have been given… Do you agree with me, this human mechanism is the most sophisticated machine on this planet? Do you agree with me? Have you read the user's manual? The reason why spiritual process has become a ridiculous circus, I'm saying this consciously, It's become a circus because everybody is trying to do it on the street side. Krishna waited till the last moment where there's an extreme situation where Arjuna's mind is being crushed. He waits for that moment to give the teaching. But all kinds of idiots are reading it on the street corner without creating any situation. When you listen to it, suddenly you find you have to shut down everything and listen because as simple as it is, you don't get it. It is not its complex, but the simplicity is the problem for the human intellect. You're trying to grasp things through intellect, complicated things you will grasp. Simplest things, people around me are always freaked because I'm telling them the simplest thing, but they're thinking through many things. Without involvement, there is no life. How profound is your involvement will determine how profound is your experience of life. The question is not in what. So, this goal-orientedness has… this is a very Western way of looking at life. Always the goal. The finish line is more important than the step that you're taking right now. It's a foolish way to live. If you get to the finish line, you will still not be ecstatic. Your only ecstasy is somebody is behind you. It's a sickness that you enjoy other people's failures, it's a sickness. But if you make it, you will not be exuberant. If you don't make it, of course, you'll be broken. The important thing is to be absolutely devoted to the process, what we're doing right now. How far will it get us? Depending upon our competence, it'll get us as far as it gets. How far we go in the world is also determined by the situations in which we exist, the times in which we exist. Where we get, how far we get, the times will decide. But the question is only this, everything that you have, is it finding expression or no? That's all it is. Are you better than somebody? That is not even the question. Everything that you are, is it finding expression or you yourself are a big problem? For most human beings, they don't need any enemies, they're just doing great by themselves. Every day their own thought, their own emotion, their own ideas, their own stupid philosophies, they're just destroying people. See, every human being has a certain genius in them, every human being. Only thing is, unless they find the right atmosphere and right level of involvement, that genius will not flower. And the sad story on this planet is, 99% of the population never opens up their genius. They will live mediocre lives simply because they are interested in the goal, what will they get in the end? They want to know what will they get in the end, they're not interested in what's happening now. What will you get in the end? We will bury you.